What is up, guys? Welcome back to S3M2 Football and welcome to today's football preview video. The FA Cup is back this weekend and we have a bumper fixture this Sunday on the 12th of January at the Emirates. For this one, please stick around as I cover Arsenal versus Manchester United. We start off here with the home side being Arsenal. Now, the last 5 fixtures for the Gunners have ended in 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. Arsenal have scored 10 goals and conceded 5 goals in those last 5 fixtures, so perhaps conceding a few too many. The Gunners' last match, however, was a 2-0 loss at home against Newcastle in the week in the Carabao Cup, so they definitely have ground to make up now in the FA Cup. The first player that I'd like to talk about for Arsenal has got to be Brazilian left winger Gabriel Martinelli. In 27 appearances, he has 6 goals and 2 assists. And for me, Martinelli is quick. He's a player who's got very good close control and he's a very good wide player. He knows when he needs to go out to the touchline to get a cross in, or when he can cut in to take a shot himself and perhaps score a great individual goal. Next up, I want to talk about Norwegian attacking midfielder Martin Odegaard. In 18 appearances, he has just 1 goal and 5 assists, but I think Odegaard brings a lot to this team centrally in terms of his dribbling ability, his passing accuracy and range, and his overall creativity. Odegaard for me is the kind of player that you can use to just stitch things together for your team in midfield. And finally, I want to talk about French centre-back William Saliba. In 28 appearances, he has just 2 goals. But for me, Saliba is a very strong player. He's very physical and he's very aggressive. He does give this team a lot from set pieces as well. If Arsenal are awarded corners or free kicks anywhere near the opposition box, you can expect to see Saliba trying to get on the end of it so that he can convert from those set pieces. Tactically, I think we're going to see Mikel Arteta's team use both possession style and counter-attack to try and score goals here. Arsenal are a team that is very flexible, they can play very fluid attacking football, but they do like to play in this 4-3-3 formation. It gives them the opportunity to spread the play out wide and then to attack centrally with their midfielders and a strong target man. However, I think this team has had some issues at right back with both Ben White and Tomiyasu out injured, which means we've seen a lot of Julian Timber in that position, and he's done very well for me. Up front though on that right wing, I think they will be missing Bukayo Saka. His absence is definitely going to be felt. They won't have a player up front who can just change a game on his own. They'll look to other players who then look to build as a team and operate within the game plan to then give them a bit more going forward. Arsenal do like to rush forward in numbers to create spaces for everybody all over the pitch by just creating chaos and attacking spaces. It gives the player on the ball even more space to work with if they want to score a solo goal, or if they play with their head up high and they look around them, they will see other players running into spaces to just get those shots instead. Okay, on to the away team. Now for Manchester United, the last 5 fixtures for the Red Devils have ended in 1 draw and 4 losses. Thankfully though, United can be grateful that their last match was their draw, and it was a 2-2 draw against Liverpool at Anfield in the Premier League. So a lot of motivation to take from that fixture. The first player I'd like to talk about here for United is going to be Argentine left winger Alejandro Garnacho. 29 appearances, 8 goals and 4 assists for Garnacho. I think he's a very fast player who's got tons of energy out wide. He's a great dribbler. Garnacho can score goals, he can pass to others. I think he brings a lot to this team offensively on that left wing. Centrally, I'd like to talk about Uruguayan defensive midfielder Manuel Ugarte. In 22 appearances, Ugarte has just 1 assist, but I think he brings a lot of composure and patience to this Manchester United team. He is a player who's fairly aggressive as well. He can wing that ball back for you, and he's very strong. So he's not the kind of player who can get bullied in the midfield into losing possession. And finally, I want to talk about Dutch centre-back Matthias de Ligt. In 24 appearances, he has just 1 goal. But for me, de Ligt seems like a very strong, very physical centre-back. He's very composed as well. He doesn't give away easy free kicks. But I think De Ligt can be the kind of player United can look to lead this team from the back in the future. I see a lot of positive qualities in him, and I think if Matthias De Ligt just gives himself a bit more patience, he can be a very, very important player for this Manchester United team. Tactically, I think Manchester United's new coach Ruben Amorim is still going to look to get his team to play on the counter. United like to counter centrally, it's why we see them usually lining up in this 3-4-3 formation with the front players lined up in a kind of triangle. This allows United to play with a target man, whether it's Rasmus Højlund or Joshua Zirkzee, who then holds onto the ball while everybody else gets into better support positions. Defensively, though, Manchester United still look very, very shaky. Having two players in that midfield is meant to sort of compensate for that defensive lapse, but I think missing a player like Lindelof is something they were easily able to rectify with that back trio of Martinez, De Ligt, and Maguire. Offensively, United want to use their pace. They've got all of these quick players, Amad Diallo, Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, all of these players who have so much pace and they just want to go forward. You'll see them using Bruno Fernandes to sort of set up the play while the number 9 holds up the ball. But all over the pitch, Manchester United want to move forward as a unit and track back as a unit as well, trying to keep their shape and just trying to ensure that nobody is caught out of position. Okay, on to the head-to-head and the S3M2 verdict. Now, the last 5 fixtures between Arsenal and Manchester United have ended in 4 wins for Arsenal and just 1 win for Manchester United. In terms of goal output in those last 5 fixtures between the two, Arsenal have scored 10 goals, while Manchester United have managed to score just 6. So we can see from both of these statistics, Arsenal come into this one as heavy favourites, while United come into this one as heavy underdogs. Arsenal have had a fair bit of bad luck this season. Obviously, starting the season without Odegaard meant they were lacking centrally in terms of creativity, and now having to go into the second half of the season without Bukayo Saka means I think they're going to be missing a lot of creativity out on that right wing now as well. At left wing, they do have players like Martinelli and Trossard and Sterling who can function in the setup, but on right wing, it now means converting one of those players to play in a position where they're not entirely comfortable in. I think specifically without Bukayo Saka, Arsenal do miss a bit of that wow factor out on the right wing, a player who can just turn a game on its head entirely on his own. Manchester United have to take a lot of positives from a draw last weekend, and I think when you're taking positives from a draw, it does say a lot about this team. Offensively, they're looking very bad, and defensively, they're looking even worse. And for Manchester United, they have shown that in the big games against City and Liverpool, they can take their game up a few levels, and they need to in this fixture as well. For both of these teams, I think they're under a lot of pressure. I think Arsenal are still in the Premier League race while United are entirely out of it. In terms of the Carabao Cup, both are now knocked out. And in terms of the European Cups, they're both looking fairly good in the Champions League and in the Europa League respectively. But I think when it comes to Arsenal and Manchester United in the FA Cup, there is a fair bit of a heated rivalry between these two sides, and I think neither one is going to want to give up this match. United do have a slight advantage knowing that Arsenal did play midweek and they did not have to, so their players might come into this one being a little better rested. The Emirates has been an unpleasant stadium for Manchester United. They've only managed one draw in their last 5 trips to Arsenal, and I don't expect that to change here. I think Arsenal might be missing Bukayo Saka, so on that right wing they might come up a bit short, but I think Manchester United still look like a very disjointed team and a team that is still both very physically fragile but also very mentally fragile. They look like the kind of team that in one fixture can turn a match around on its head in the second half, and in another fixture can just totally throw a game away in the last 10 minutes. And it does come down to whichever version of Manchester United we see on the day. I think also knowing that they've had troubles at the Emirates does definitely stack the odds heavily against them, and their current record coming into this one as well does not look good in any way, shape, or form. My score prediction for this one is going to be Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. I think the Red Devils will get a goal, yes, but I think Arsenal are the kind of team that find a way when they need to. And I think looking at this fixture, Mikel Arteta will be telling his team They need to.
Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Um, Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Um, Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.